Alright, hey friends, I just set my um, camera setup back. I mean, I've had my camera for some time, but I unplugged all my stuff for my San Francisco trip and then I hadn't gotten back to finding the wires and setting everything up. So, this is not perfect. I know the audio sounds better if I'm talking to the mic like this, but like my camera, I gotta rearrange stuff to make it good, and I just want to upload videos regularly. So, this is what you get for now, right? What do I want to talk about? I just I published a post on my Substack, uh, which is not the post that I would have wanted to publish. I have all these ideas in my head of things that I want to write, but I ended up writing something almost out of frustration and desperation about my mental state. And I don't know if you can see from the current video in comparison to the previous video, and I guess I'm cheating a little bit by using a better camera and it's fixed, so I'm not holding it, but um, I think I'm more relaxed. I think there's like my shoulder was starting to kill me, like it was just knotted and hurting, and then I wrote a post about how I was feeling and like how I'm internally frustrated and all of those things, which I would rather not do, And is that the arrogant egotist in me that insists on not showing that side of myself? I mean, I show it on Twitter all the time, right? I don't necessarily, I didn't know if I wanted to do a Substack post about that, especially when my second post was already about all the essays that I had not published, right? So I feel like my first post was a great start, A plus, like in terms of here's a voyage that we're gonna go on. And then my second post was months later, and I'm so frustrated because it's all this stuff I want to write, but I can't seem to get it right yet. And then like a couple of months pass, and the next post is also about frustration, but less about the art itself and more about me. And I don't want to make that a habit. I do not want it to be like, oh, this is Visa's weekly or monthly post about what's frustrating him. Like, no, I want to do some nerd posting. I want to write about history and stuff I've learned and stuff I want to find out, and perspectives and smartphones and media and optics and how we see things and how all of those things. So those are the things that I really want to be writing about. But I feel like I just had to get this particular bit of frustration out, and I don't know. I feel good. I physically feel good, even if intellectually I'm a little bit annoyed about it, by it, whatever. And yeah, I just wanted to make this video as a record of here's how Visa looks after publishing a thing. I have a note in my Google Keep from like 2015 or earlier, and it says, "When I publish, I'm happy, and when I don't publish, I'm unhappy." And I'm like, that's that's such a simple truth about my life, and I don't know if it makes any sense for me to try and change that. Like, you know, conceivably there exists a potential configuration in which I am not affected by whether or not I have published something. Right? There's like this transcendent, zen, peaceful being who isn't affected by this subjective, oh, I haven't published, therefore I feel bad. But it seems to me like trying to work towards that is gonna be, it's gonna take some effort, it's gonna take some a struggle that I'm not sure I'm equipped for. And I've written about this in introspect as well. Somewhere in my book I wrote that it seems possible that you could be enlightened in an instant and be like, but I don't think you should count on it, because if it doesn't work, then you just get more frustrated because that's time that you could have spent just doing the thing, right? Like, and I'm reminded of another analogy, which is like, if you have a nail in your head, like you could meditate about being indifferent to the nail, or you could just get the nail out of your head, right? And I feel like for me, writing and publishing is cheap enough in some sense that it makes more sense for me to just write and then think about being detached. Or, I could spend a couple of hours writing something in the morning and publishing it, and so I'm done with that, and then I have the rest of my day to figure out how to transcend it. It's better to transcend from a position of strength than from a position of weakness, right? From a position of abundance rather than scarcity, if you have that choice. Um, yeah, what else? What else do I want to say? I guess I want to commit to myself to not to worry, right? There's a part of me that's like, oh no, you're gonna become this confessional, and there's nothing wrong with being a confessional blogger or Substacker or whatever, but that's not what I want. I know what I want. I want to be an essayist who is pursuing interestingness at least half out of myself. You know, I do admire Goethe and Emerson and Montaigne, and I feel like that's the tradition of essaying that I want to participate in. You know, I feel like my current Twitter audience, for example, is it's not an audience that I specifically set out to cultivate, and I sometimes think that some people see me where I am, surrounded by the people that I'm surrounded by, and they assume that that's what I want. I'm okay with it, but I want something different actually. I want a more diverse, more international, more strange, esoteric, people who come from different angles, people who come from different ages, different backgrounds, different beliefs. Like I want more syncretism. So the right way of saying it. One more just again the word diversity has come to mean specific things or connote specific things that I'm not. I would rather just use a different word, you know, just so that you don't assume that I mean something that I don't necessarily assume. I mean just a wider range of interpretations, perspectives, and yeah, I want to just mess around with that. I also want to play around more with form. You know, I feel like I was watching a YouTube video from a channel that I liked, and towards the end, they were just speaking in a way that I found formulaic, and I don't mean to begrudge anyone their formulas or their genres or whatever. You know, like I think this is just a theme in my life lately, like patterns and genres and I want to try to figure out patterns of speech, vocabulary, grammar, convention, like unconventional. I want to try and break from convention in interesting ways, and I think that's not just about what you talk about, but how you say what you say. And it's striking to me how easy it is to fall into matching someone else's style, which isn't a bad thing, right? It's how we learn anything. We learn by imitation, and it's how we reach audiences that are not quite ready for something far out, different, and strange. And so we do something kind of similar to what we like, right? And give them an on ramp for, oh, if you like this, you're also gonna like that. You know, like Alien is like Jaws in space, right? So what is my YouTube channel like, and what is my Substack like? Like we can't help but understand things in relation to other things that we already know. So even if you do something outrageously original, people are still gonna relate it to things that they already know, because we can't conceive of things that do not relate to what we know, right? And so, but still, I think that it's worth trying. It's worth trying to experiment with form. But for my current set of YouTube videos, I'm gonna keep doing these like ad lib, one take, no edit, confessional speeches, monologues, whatever, because it's what I want to do. It's easy. It's fun. I think it's something that trains me or teaches me to be better at expressing myself. So I'm gonna keep doing that. But I also do want to do video essays, which I did like one or two of, and it was clunky and cumbersome. And I feel like there's a bunch of editing and complexity that goes into it. But I guess I'm just stating the intention again. Like it might be years before I do it. Hopefully less than a year. But yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna publish this, and I'm gonna get back to working on my writing. Done. Peace. Hang out. Peace. Hang out. Cheers. Hang out in the comments. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you're working on. What's going on with you. Bye. Done. Stop recording.